Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Throttle and Gear. Here we have the Suzuki Jimny with us. We are at the Nexa dealership today and they have lent us this car. So let's talk about the car. It has a small kink on the door side actually. It's a small characteristic line. That's the door handle and that is the open and there's a key in hole. The side profile is very boxy and very rugged. It's a dual tone actually and it is mainly a box and if you see from here, this is what the India gets, the back side. That's what difference in India we get. This is the back view of the vehicle. Again, there's the button to open it, unlock and lock button. The side view is just amazing. It's so small. These mountains are actually a extra and those also are like extras. Those are all part of accessory. The dual tone is actually more expensive. Even the rain wash, this thing is it's an accessory, all these. So this is a Zeta automatic that we have here today. These two lines and all have that G-Wagon kind of style. This is the, front 3/4 quarter view of this car, and it's very small actually. It looks, compared to the auto rickshaw near to it, it's a very small car. And these are all extras, accessories. So the wipers are very standard wipers and it's very upright, the windshield. The front headlight too gets washer wipers to it. This is the grill, chrome garnish grill. It's a 5-slot grill. You can't have a 7-slot grill. The under has a kind of a skid plate, and this is the back side, like 3/4. This is a small window for the trunk area actually. This is the tire and it is a Bridgestone tire coming with alloys actually. Only for the Alpha variant you get the alloys. This doesn't have leaf spring. It has coil suspensions on the back also, and front has a rigid addles. It is not central locking on this. It looks like central locking, it's just beads. And if you see the size, it's 195, 80 and 15-inch rims, which are apt for off-roading. The overall stance is amazing. It has good presence. It is small but has good presence. This is also part of an extra accessory pack. So this is the key of the thing, basic Maruti key. These are the colors. So you have the Nexa blue, the black, the granite grey, the sizzling red, the lime that we are driving today, and white actually. So let's go for a ride with the Suzuki Jimny. So driving the Suzuki Jimny. Suzuki Jimny is a very calm car. The looks itself gives off that kind of vibe. This car is very subtle. Driving, the steering is very light. It's very easy to maneuver around the city. So the question we all asked in today's scenario is, since the Mahindra Thar ROXX is there, the Gurkha 5-door is there. So how does this Suzuki Jimny, the 5-door version, how does it add up to its rivals? So basically the first thing I would like to say is, the Suzuki Jimny is a totally different car from the Gurkha and the Thar ROXX, because the Thar ROXX and the Gurkha are in a totally different price range. If you're planning to buy a Scorpio or an XUV or a Tata Harrier or a Safari, that kind of range of cars are about 20 lakhs, you could go for a Mahindra Thar ROXX. I wouldn't say the Gurkha because it is very down on features. We'll have a feature on that car later. So the Thar ROXX is for such a kind of buyer. This car, the Suzuki Jimny, is more for a buyer who is kind of gonna buy a car for like a Nexon, a subcompact SUV like a Nexon, a Brezza or a Sonnet, or something bigger like a Creta, a Seltos or a Elevate. So such kind of buyer can go for a Jimny. So Jimny is basically a complete SUV as compared to the lifted up hatchbacks that we have mentioned earlier in the price range. So Jimny has huge offers now, and this car is not the most comfortable, but it is comfortable for a ladder and frame. It doesn't have that kind of jerkiness, and it is very calm and composed in its suspension, and it is kind of lovable also. It takes bumps very well. It's very cute looking, like from the front it's so cute. And I don't know, that appeal of cute cars is a big thing for me. From the Mazda MX-5 or the Mazda Miata, the cute cars are a big thing for certain people. And for me, I would love a 3-door Jimny more better. But the 5-door Jimny adds practicality, but you lose a lot of practicality also. Like, I'll explain that when I show you the visuals of those things. And let's get back to driving. So driving in the city, it has immense presence. Even the car is very narrow, it is very doesn't show up as a big presence when you look at it. But on the road while moving, the other cars around it are looks mediocre and small. It actually brings out a whole lot of element to the car, and this car is little masculine, I would say female drivers prefer the normal Thar 3-door a lot. Like, it has a huge presence, and they like that being in command in the road. This Jimny doesn't have that much presence, but if you're already a very good driver and you can handle some bad roads in the city, this car is amazing. Another complaint people say about this car is the U-turn radius. So I have been driving this car in around 4-lane roads alone, that too in heavy traffic. I have found it very easy for the U-turns actually. The U-turns have been found to not that hard. Like, the Thar Rocks is even harder, the Gurkha is even more harder. This car is a little more, when you compare to a Creta or something, it is a little more difficult because this car is rear wheel drive and the wheelbase is a little more like longer. So I have been driving the automatic, and this automatic transmission is the torque converter, 4-speed torque converter that we had seen in the A-Star automatic and the Desire automatic from yesteryears. And this is not the AMT transmission. This is a version of the 6-speed transmission, torque converter transmission the Maruti offers in other cars. It's buttery smooth, it's excellent. It has the lack of gears though. Another thing that what these so-called other journalists mention about this car to have lost is it lacks huge amount of power. But I have never felt that way, because this car shouldn't again be compared to the Thar Rocks. When you compare to the Thar Rocks, it's big time down on power. Okay, that's understandable. But otherwise, when you compare it to a Nexon or a Sonnet, this car is on par. It is you're placing this car on the wrong market. You see the price after the discount, like it is like price expensive, like 18 lakhs, but you get 3 lakhs discount, that is like 15 lakhs. You see what all cars you get for 15 lakhs and this car, you will see that the Thar Rocks and similar, the SUV, the real SUVs are a lot more expensive. I would say you should, if you're buying the Jimny, you should get the manual, because it's a lot more fun to ride. The 4-speed gearbox, because of the lack of number of gears, because if it was a 6-speed gearbox, it would have been a little more fun to drive. It would have been a little more apt for the engine also. The engine is the old 1.5 liter Maruti engine. It is called the K15B. The newer Brezza, the XL6, gets the K15C. This is the older version because it is longitudinal, because it's a body and frame. Longitudinally, it's mounted on the frame. So they have to use the older K15B. So let's talk about Jimny in the foreign markets. So in UK, they used to have the 3-door Jimny. US doesn't have Jimny. Mexico has Jimny, and those are all 3 doors. And now they have banned the main Jimny, like it's been 1 or 2 years, and they sell it as a commercial vehicle, as a van in those countries, and people buy it and get it converted. If you check out other channels like Carwow or Doug D. Muro, you can see such reviews in the foreign markets. And in Carwow, one interesting video that I found is a Jimny with a turbo swap. That would be amazing. This car, the lack of power that people are talking, if you add a turbo kit on it, and I think those kits are available in outside markets. If somebody can source it and do a build like that, it would be an amazing build, especially with the 5-door. I think it'll be a rocket actually. It makes around 150 horsepower or something, and I think this car can handle a lot more also. Okay, now let's talk about the Australian market. The Australian market recently started getting the 5-door Jimny, and with the same engine and everything, and they kind of like the Jimny better now. They find it as you can use it as a one car, but there are many misses in this car that makes it not a one car. So let's talk about that now. So on the feature side, this car is very poorly loaded, I would say. It has all the basics, but many of the Maruti cars with cheaper, like the Baleno and the Glanz's Toyota, okay, the Baleno has more features than this car. Okay, so now I am not a fan of features, but the Indian market requires to have some kind of basic features like ventilated seats, a puddle lamp. That's a basic feature. Like when you open the door, if there's puddle lamp on the in the night, it's a very convenient feature that I found using my own car. So this car doesn't have that puddle lamp. It doesn't have auto dimming mirrors like the backside mirror. It's not auto dimming, and that is a little concerning when you're driving at night. This car totally it is built like solidly built and all, but it kind of feels like an eggshell though. That's the typical Maruti eggshellness to the car is there. Like you feel the rattles here there. This car's the car I'm driving is a test drive car, and it has been given a lot of hit to it. I think as I was speaking to the sales manager, he was mentioning to me that 2 weeks back it had got an accident, and the steering was a little offset. Like if you put it into the straight position, the car will lead to a left side a lot. So that the steering rack is bent or something. This car it is under. So what I am feeling, I'm telling you guys. So let's have a small explaining about the interior now about the Jimny. So the Jimny has analog gauges. This is the speedometer and this is a tachometer. There's a small digital unit on between to show all the information. The gear selector is a small button. When I click it, it'll show OD off. It means that this OD off, now you can see OD is on. This means that the tacho gets reduced, so it can go to 4. This is the off-road gear, it's for off-roading, and that is the gear selector, and this is PRND2L. There's no 3, like the A star is missing. These are the basic switches here. This is the driver side window switch, this is the passenger side window switch, there's automatic for the drivers, that's traction control off, and that is the hill descent control. And hill descent control is very useful in this car, I would say. These are climate control. Only the alpha variant gets the climate controls. The Zeta gets manual AC, 2 AC vents in the middle, and a hazard light. The bigger infotainment screen for the alpha, and the small Zeta gets a smaller one. There's a handlebar here. There's a small space here for your phone. This is the glove box, and it's pretty decent. Plastics are hard. That's expected in an off-roader. The trim is an extra. There's a very good grab handle here. There's an AC vent, and there's an AC vent on the driver's side. And if you come down here, like there's some controls here. This is for the washer fluid wash, like for the front headlights. This is the auto on off. This is a start stop button, and this is the mirror control. So I got it for better lighting actually. Left and right for each side mirror. That's for the movement, and that is the closing the thing. It's totally different from the other Marutis, these buttons. So these are the backside window switches. That's for lock. There are 2 blank switches. This is the handbrake we are having here, manual handbrake, and this is the normal mirror. It does not auto dimming. This is the dim light. They're all blank button, and there's a mic here. The driver's side mirror has a mirror but no light, and if you go to the passenger side, there's a mirror but no light again. And there's a small Jimny writing here, and it is an extra accessory, but it is kind of good looking and cool looking, I would say. Cubby holes are very minimal and small. Now you can't put basically anything there. This is the front seats. The leg room is nice, the headroom is nice, and the bolstering of the seats are very nice actually, typical Maruti. This is a seat cover on it. It's an extra. It's a fabric seat actually. This is the back seat, and that's the window switch. It looks like the old Honda Brios. Even the back seat space is very good. For 2 people, leg space is good, and for 3 people it's very tight. 2 people will be more comfortable. Belt has to be put all the time because the load sensors doesn't have load sensors in the back. This is the back trunk door and goes fully 90 degrees. That's on your Tata. This is the square loading area, and it has very good space. There's a small space here in the back where you keep the tools here. So the spare tire doesn't come here. The spare tire comes on the back of the tailgate. This spare tire has this is small cover. You can get a full cover. That is a accessory. This is the antenna. It looks so cool. On one side, it looks so cool. That's why I'm showing you this. This is the third brake light, and that's the washer fluid for the wiper. Wiper is hidden beneath the tire, like the old Tata Sierra, and that's a very good touch. So we are ending the video here. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. So we are all very grateful for Maruti Suzuki Nexa for lending us this Jimny. We are looking forward for more cars from them, and they are also looking forward for more content from us. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.